Thank you. Tonight we have a great show for you. We will be talking about two companies tonight that have caused major problems due to negligence. BP and Exxon. As you know, BP was at fault for the Gulf oil spill. It's the gift that keeps on giving. And giving and giving. I may have a solution for them, and that brings us to tonight's word. Responsibility. BP needs to take responsibility for their actions. Let's be honest, this could have happened to anyone who ignored all of the warning signs. Everyone is upset about this disaster, and rightly so. If you aren't upset about this disaster, you're probably a bird and it already killed you. And I don't think we can call it the Gulf of Mexico anymore. We broke it, we bought it. We are now going to our We Screwed Up and Are Still Denying It interview correspondent. Laura who? Laura?
Well, thank you for accepting this interview with me, Mr. Tony Hayward. As CEO of BP, you must be quite busy these days with the oil spill going on and all that. How are you today?
I don't think you need to know that.
Okay, well, let's start with a few questions. Was BP aware of all the safety violations occurring on the Deepwater Horizon rig?
Well, under my Fifth Amendment right, I refuse to answer that question.
Is that so? You don't think our viewers have a right to know about this?
Oh, they do. I just don't have to tell them.
I see. Well, tell me, do you see any parallels at all between BP's current predicament and the Exxon Valdez oil spill back in 1989?
I think we're all entitled to our own opinions, and I respect each and every one.
I see. Well, do you feel that BP is primarily responsible for millions of gallons of oil spilling into the Gulf each and every day?
BP is doing their best to provide relief to the people in the Gulf, and we feel that our efforts are and have proven to be quite successful.
So BP is primarily responsible?
Listen, Miss Lee, it all really depends on what your definition of is.
Well, one last question then. Do you have anything you want to say to your shareholders?
Yeah, I'm going to try to make it to the yacht race this year, and hopefully later I'll club a seal or two.
Okay, well, thank you for spending time with me on this interview.
You're welcome.
Now a word from our sponsors.
What are you doing? You're not supposed to be shredding those documents. Has it been 7 years?
But
That ain't new, baby.
Some people said I was crazy when I brought Carrie on board, but I'm a big proponent of paradigm breaking, outside of the box thinking. And since Carrie has been with us, our ethical performance has gone up 46%.
Well, thank you for doing this interview with me, Miss Jess Hazelwood.
I'm happy to be here.
I see. Well, let me start by asking, were you innocent of your charges on the Exxon Valdez oil spill?
Of course I'm innocent.
Okay. So you weren't drunk on duty?
I don't drink on the job.
I see. Well, do you still have your license?
Of course, I have my driver's license, I got my master's boating license, I got all of my licenses.
And you drive frequently?
Of course.
So tell me once more, how often do you drink when you're piloting the Exxon Valdez?
You know, a little here, a little there. I'm a better drunk driver than a sober driver. And besides, it wasn't me who crashed into the reef. It was that kid.
Okay, yes, that kid is at fault. That's it. So your supervisor at Exxon never checked up on you?
Why would they?
They never knew you had a DUI?
They didn't ask, I didn't tell.
So you don't believe that they need to be informed about this?
No, why would I rat myself out? I mean, it's not like I lied. I just withheld some information.
You don't think it's relevant to your job to tell him about his no relations?
Not at all.
Well, that's all for today. Thank you for doing this interview.
Another word from our sponsors.
You know, it ain't always about jacking fools up. Sometimes it's about mind games.
More like 10 million.
I know I did not just see you fudge those numbers.
No.
Oh no! Here it comes! The pain train! Woo!
I got it. And to be be honest, I wish I had 10 Carrie Cates on Team Dunder Mifflin.
And now our last interview for the day.
Well, our final guest for the show is Miss Francesca Thief, the author, and she has written a book entitled Cooking the Books. This should be interesting.
Hi, it's welcome. Nice to be here.
Hi, it's great to meet you,
Nice to
Miss
meet you.
Francesca Thief.
Teeth.
Oh, okay, right. So, this is an interesting book you've written. It's entitled Cooking the Books.
Yes, it is.
Are you teaching people how to commit fraud?
Oh, not at all. The purpose of my book is to teach basic earnings management, not fraud.
Earnings management, right, okay. So this is a legitimate way to run a company then?
I'm exercising my Fifth Amendment right not to respond.
Oh, right, you are. Okay, so then you're not worried about going to jail.
Not at all.
Excellent. We'll just skip all these note cards. Let's talk about chapter 3. You say your goals and priorities for a successful business person, somewhere in there. Will you elaborate?
Absolutely. Of course, today it's all about money. Money brings status, and status brings power. And of course, integrity is important too.
Oh, and yes, that's at the bottom, of course. All right, well, in chapter 8, you focus on understating expenses. Do you want to tell a little bit about this?
Certainly. I have found that some of the best ways to go about doing this are to change inventory methods. You can also change depreciation methods, and certainly any personal expenses by employees can be written off as business expenses.
Excellent. I did not know you could do that under GAAP. Well, in light of all the financial scandals, do you think any of the management or people involved have read your book?
Definitely not, because if you notice, all of them were caught. They were sloppy, and if they would have read my book, they wouldn't have gotten caught.
Interesting. Well, give us a little bit of advice on how managers can make sure to not be sloppy.
My number one piece of advice, invest in a heavy-duty paper shredder.
Awesome. Well, that's all the time we have for tonight. Thanks for watching.
Okay. BP is doing the. Let me just read it first. Let me do that one again. Let me do that one again. I think we're all entitled. Cora, stop.
Just keep going. You gotta look up, Cora.
Cora.
Look up, Cora.